Hello, I'm Cliff Sarantine, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Wildwood Ways, Edible and Medicinal Treasures. Today we're going to be taking a look at mushroom identification, in particular focusing on a favorite of new mushroom hunters, the bolete. The beauty of boletes is all we need to know is the genus. We need to know that they are part of the Boletes genus. Once we have established that they are part of the Boletes genus, or one of its closely related cousins, the Leccinum, or the Suilus mushroom, we have come a long way toward knowing whether or not the mushroom in question is edible. Boletes, Leccinums, and Suilus mushrooms all have the classic mushroom morphology, which is to say a cap, visible in this image, and a stem, visible below. In mushroomer parlance, the cap is often referred to as a pilus. The stem is often referred to as a stipe. Boletes are readily distinguished from other mushrooms because beneath that cap, they have a spongy surface. You can see beneath this mushroom's cap how instead of having gills, which we often associate with the cap and stem mushroom, this mushroom's surface appears to be made out of a sponge. The brilliant thing about pursuing boletes as an edible mushroom is we don't need to know exactly which species of mushroom we have. Identification of mushroom species is very difficult, so difficult that identifying one species of mushroom from another often stymies even the most expert mycologists. But with boletes, we have a simple test that we can perform upon each mushroom to determine if it is edible. I call it testing for the blues. All we have to do is pinch or cut the bolete mushroom and see if it bruises blue or if the cut shows blue anytime within a few seconds to an hour. If we don't see blue, the bolete is edible. Boletes have two cousins, the Suilus mushroom, which is very similar to a bolete, but the spongy surface under its cap is comprised of pores that are considerably larger than the pores that we see on bolete mushrooms. The other cousin of the bolete is the Leccinum, which is very similar to the bolete except it has scabers up and down its stem or stipe. Scabers resemble scales or hairs. You do not have to test for the blues with the Leccinum mushroom. All Leccinums are edible with the following exception: those Leccinums that have orange caps. A number of Leccinums have orange caps, but only one or two are potentially toxic. However, it has never been confirmed which Leccinums may be the toxic ones. No Suilus mushrooms are known to be poisonous. Bolete mushrooms always grow in proximity to trees. They are mycorrhizal with the tree's roots, which means to say that boletes grow from an underground mycelium, which is kind of like the root. The mushroom, however, is only the fruiting body of the mycelium. The mycelium grows underground in concert with the roots of trees. The mycelium draws nutrients from the trees and in exchange provides the trees with powerful antibiotics that help ensure the tree's health. The relationship between mushrooms and trees is complex, yet extremely beneficial to both. You will never find boletes and their cousins growing on trees, which is to say they will not grow on dead or live trees. Boletes and their cousins, Leccinums and Suilus mushrooms, will grow on the forest floor, in the duff, on the soil, within close proximity to trees where the mycelium can have contact with the tree's roots. Typically, a tree's roots will extend as wide as the branches of the trees extend. You can think of it this way: a tree is roughly as big underground as it is above ground. Well, it has been a great day for mushrooming. I have filled up all the bags I have with me. I have no more room to hold mushrooms, so I'm stuffing the last of them that I find on my hike back out of the woods into my hat and stumbling along underneath an overflowing load. It has just been a wonderful day for mushrooming. There are boletes and Leccinum mushrooms everywhere, coral mushrooms. I found matsutake, reishi, and more. It has been a wonderful, wonderful day for mushrooming. The sun is getting low in the west. I expect it to be dark in an hour or so. So I'm going to finish up this day's harvest. I need to get out of the woods before it gets full dark and difficult to find my way and hazardous to move. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Wildwood Ways, Edible and Medicinal Treasures. I hope you've learned something about identifying the bolete, Leccinum, and Suilus genus mushrooms. And keep watching, because we'll have lots more on many different types of forageable treasures of the wildwood. Let's go home, boy.